2 is such a big mission and everyone's so excited about it is that for the past few years, if a U.S. astronaut wanted to go to the International Space Station, NASA had to pay Russia to allow the U.S. astronauts to sit on the Russian rocket because Russia is the only country that has a rocket that has human capability, can carry humans. No other country has a rocket that can carry humans. So it's kind of like a monopoly. Russia has been holding it because no other country could compete for lower prices per seat. It was only one country and one rocket. So now the big deal is that the last time any other country besides Russia launched a rocket with human passengers on it was in 2011 with the space shuttle. That's a long time ago, and the space shuttle got retired because it was way too expensive. So nowadays, NASA pays around $76 million per seat, while SpaceX is charging around $23 million. So as you can see, it will be a big saver for money for NASA, which is why NASA decided to pay SpaceX to develop for the CCP, Commercial Crew Program. And that's why it's a big deal, because no other country has sent humans to space, to the ISS, except Russia for the last 9 years, which is why it's a big deal. This is just a demonstration called Demo 2. However, it's the first time they're going to be using passengers, so it's still a big deal. However, later on, NASA will be using up to 4 seats because you want to get as much bang for your buck, obviously, which is the same, is that you want to get as much as you can get for a single dollar. Crew Dragon has a touch screen situation, which is kind of funny. And also the SpaceX related simulator that's actually quite close to what the actual interface is. Fun fact, for the docking with the ISS, the computer is supposed to automatically dock, but in case the computer cannot do it, that's where the astronauts have to know how to do it. So it's basically doing a simulator by touching a screen, and much more complex. So it's kind of interesting. Also, there's a bathroom in the back because it takes around 19 hours, and there's also food they can eat because if you're staying in space for 19 hours until you get another bathroom, that's going to be a bad situation. Fun fact, one time a Soyuz rocket, that's the Russian rocket that used to have the monopoly. Now it's most likely not, but hopefully. So that rocket one time, so basically if you want to go up to space, you have to use a lot of fuel. That's why you have this huge rocket. But the thing is that if you want to go down from space, it's not that much. A good example is that for the SpaceX Falcon 9, you have this huge rocket that goes up, but then if you look very closely at the Dragon, you can see a couple small engines. It's like some sort of like a hole. This is like the regular surface. There's like this hole, and then there's like 2 rockets. There's like a few pods. Those pods bring the rocket down. So you only need to slow down by 1% of your velocity in order to go down. So which is why it's a lot easier. Another reason is that when you're going up, drag is against you. So which means that delta V, basically if you spend all of your fuel once, how fast would you go? Well, for most if there was no atmosphere, then you would need 7.5 kilometers, not including gravity losses. However, because the atmosphere is working against you, you need more than that. Maybe more like 8 kilometers, 9 kilometers per second. But when you're slowing down, drag is working with you, and it will get rid of 7 kilometers, by the time drag is no longer stopping you, you reach your terminal velocity, you're at 200, 300 meters per second, which is a lot less than 7.5 kilometers per second. So it really does help you. But going back to that Russian rocket thing, so they messed up the burn, and now basically once you re-enter, once you hit a certain point at your current velocity and your current angle, there's no going back. That's the point when the drag is too extreme for you to get out. However, the Soyuz, they ran out of fuel early, so then their predicted orbital path would not cross that. So they had to wait until the atmosphere, because there's still atmosphere at their lowest point. It's just not enough. So they keep going around and around and around until finally they can get in. It took a day for all its orbits to eventually just deorbit. However, the bad issue was that they had no bathroom working, so they had survival without a bathroom for one day. Imagine that. Bye!